Buddy, welcome to another episode of the Week in Crime and Policing with DeMayo and Maysonet. I'm Mark DeMayo, and guess who's back? Finally, after a hiatus,
This guy,
Angel Maysonet is back to join us, folks.
the
How are you,
beauty,
buddy?
the brains of this little combination we got going here. I'm the beauty, and Mark is the brains, and the beauty's back.
Yeah. That's it.
I
Oh man, we missed you.
miss you guys too. It's been a whirlwind of a couple of weeks. As you all know, I suffered a loss at personally and professionally. One of my friends passed away, so
What was his name?
Mike Dordo. He was a retired first grade detective from a major case. Fantastic work. He infiltrated the Gambino crime family. He got numerous awards. I mean, the guy was a phenomenal detective. He was one of my investigators here. He was my Brooklyn investigator at the company I'm with now. And he was a friend. And I was with him a week before he passed away at a gathering. And it was unexpected and sudden, and it was a horrible, horrible loss. And his wake was on Monday, so obviously I couldn't come on the show. And then Wednesday, when he got rescheduled, I got surprised with Knicks tickets, so I went to the Knicks game. I think Bill Ryan subbed in for me, and
we did. He did a very nice job.
Yeah, and we did. We did well. The Knicks won, but then they ended up losing in Miami. So I wouldn't have been on this one either because I would have been at the Garden tonight if they won. But here we are.
That was a pretty pathetic game on Sunday.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
No, it wasn't Sunday. It was Saturday, right?
Saturday, yeah.
Saturday, it was horrible, man.
It was.
They played like.
No, it was Friday.
Was it Friday? Nah, it couldn't have been Friday.
So, yeah, it was Friday.
Really? They played like shit.
They did. Caca.
It was horrible.
Like Caca.
Well, why don't we say hello to the people in the chat?
Why don't we?
It was a Mother's Day yesterday, so to all the mothers out there.
Feliz Dia de las Madres. Happy Mother's Day to all our mommies in the chat. To my beautiful wife, especially. Here we go. Little Mermaid, Louisa. Thank you. Happy Monday, everyone. Excited to see these handsome men. Mark and Angel. And hear about the Week in Crime and Policing. Thank you. Raquela, Mrs. Pranzo. Hello, darling. Nice to see you. I hope the LT's in here somewhere. Your wonderful husband. I don't see him yet. Good to see you. Who else we got? Mary Goldstein. Hello, my favorite boys. Hope everyone had a wonderful Mother's Day. Jojo, what's up, Jojo? How you doing? Thanks for joining. Good to see you. No Milwaukee civilian. I missed that clown. Oh, there he is. I hope Angel will be back tonight. I hope to see a real man. Ay. Unbelievable. There he is. Right on cue. Peter Pranzo, there he is. What's up, LT? Good to see you. Hey, Mark, Angel, and all the chat friends. Gina G. What's up, Gina? ¿Qué pasa? Welcome. Who else we got? I think that's it. I think that's everybody.
Well, the show is called The Week in Crime and Policing, and there is a rumor that I looked up, by the way, and it says that the least amount of crime happens on Mother's Day in the United States.
Really?
Or maybe globally. But turns out it's not true. I looked it up. It's
shocking.
It's not actually a fact, but I do believe it is true. Maybe it's not a drastic number decrease, but it just feels like that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, we know as former police officers that, Easter is supposed to be a really, religious day, and yet in New York City,
holy. Yeah.
We have the gathering of all the people down in Times Square, the different gangs from all over the country. And then this year we had some other incidents that happened on Easter Sunday, horrible incidents with crime and stuff like that. But Mother's Day seems to always be like, doesn't it feel like that? Like a day like where it's less crime?
It should be because like Mary says in the chat, the mothers are taking a break from committing crimes. I know when we were kids, my mom would take a day off for kicking my ass on Mother's Day, so I would
Mhm.
get a pass if I did anything bad. She would beat my ass on the Monday after. So,
Mhm.
um, oh, Little Mermaid, Luisa, thank you. She's wishing my daughter, my beautiful daughter Frances, a birthday. My baby is
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
24.
Wow.
She is 24 today. My daughter Frances, yes.
That's nice.
Um, my stubborn daughter, but
What are you guys doing?
yeah.
You doing anything for her birthday?
Nah, she's with a boyfriend, you know. She's 24. She got no time for old man. She's with a boyfriend. He's taking her out to dinner and all
Yeah,
sorts of stuff.
that is tough. It's
Yeah,
tough when the
yeah,
kids
yeah.
get a little bit older because you still want to do stuff, and you got to be able to recognize that they have a life now and they have other stuff they have to do.
Yeah, she worked today. And I texted her this morning. She worked today and then he was taking her out for a night on the town. So I'll probably talk to her either later tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah, I dipped out on my family like at 15, bro. You couldn't find me, man. I was never like Christmas. They're like, "Where you going? We want to open presents," and I'm like the only kid. I'm the only child, so I'm like, "Nah, I'm going out with my friends." Just
Is that how
pretend.
you got is that how you got that piano that you have in the background? You stole it when you were 15?
Yeah, it's hard to steal a piano, right? You got
Yeah, they weigh about 5,000 pounds.
you live in a five-story walk up. You got to bring it down the stairs. Excuse me, pardon me,
In the
excuse me.
heights.
It reminds
Con
me of
permiso, con permiso.
Abbott and Costello when they had to move the piano upstairs or up all those stairs. Do you remember that?
I do. I do.
Yeah. If this was my house, can you imagine if this was my house? That's
That'd be
some nice.
nice.
That's a beautiful background there. But I
Didn't
tell you,
they didn't they redo that skit on the remember Looney Tunes had the two mice that were Abbott and Costello?
uh huh.
And the little fat mouse used to go, "Hey, yeah, bad!" He used to
Yeah.
scream, and I think they
Uh,
redid the. I'm gonna find it on YouTube, and I'm
well,
going
actually,
to
the
post.
piano skit I'm talking about is Lauren Hardy. It
Oh, it
was,
was Laurel and
but
Hardy.
they
Okay.
might have Abbott and Costello was probably probably did it too.
Ay, ay, ay.
I remember Abbott and Costello used to have that bit with it when you're missing when you want to take a tooth out, and they
Uh,
put the string around the tooth, and
uh-huh.
then first he tried the door. You ever do that when you slam the door and
Yeah. Oh,
but
yeah,
it
yeah,
didn't
yeah, yeah,
nothing worked, so then he put it on the back of a car
yeah.
on the bumper of the car.
Everybody who's wishing my baby a happy birthday, thank you. Raquela, happy Mother's Day. I'm sorry, I forgot to say that to you, honey. Thank you. Yeah, she says wait until they're 50. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. They really don't want anything to do with you.
Yeah, I don't know if
Uh,
I probably won't be here at 50. That's another 30 years.
yeah, you'll be around. Only the good die young, buddy. You're gonna live to like 110.
I don't know, man.
Look at Mary. I dipped out on my brother's birthday once to see the Backstreet Boys. Listen, Backstreet Boys, come on, Mark. You
Yeah,
ready? You
yeah.
are my
The
fire,
liar, the one
desire.
liar.
Clear when I say I want it that
That way.
way. Tell me why ain't nothing but a
I don't know. I
heartache.
didn't see. I don't know the
Tell
words.
me
You know the
why
words too well.
ain't at the Nick game. There's a video of me singing it during one of the
Uh-huh.
intermissions. I was
Uh-huh.
with my friends, and at the Nick game, and they played the song, and they had a
Uh-huh.
karaoke moment, and I was going off, and I have the video of that. I'll send it
I
to you.
want to
It's
see
pretty
that. You
funny.
should have gave it
Yeah,
to me so I could put it up.
it's not too late. Can I send it to you now? Could you add it?
I don't think I could. That's a little
Forget.
bit beyond my pay grade right now.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
getting
yeah.
better with a lot of stuff, but that I don't think I could do.
Ain't nothing but a
While you were gone,
mistake. Tell me
um,
why I
last week
never
we talked about
wanted
the
to.
chokehold incident.
Oi!
So
All
what
right, let's
happened,
get down
right?
to business.
The
Yeah,
guy
yeah,
got
yeah, yeah.
he gets on the train and he starts
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
saying how he needs food and needs something to drink and this, that, and the other.
Right. Yeah.
And uh, somebody, the guy, what's his name?
Neely,
Uh,
Jordan Neely.
well,
The vic-
Jordan Neely
the
was the deceased in the
right.
situation, but the former Marine. Let's just go to his picture because it's an interesting thing about this Marine. Do you know that they've raised $2 million so far for his
Yeah.
defense?
People were donating $800 a minute. They were.
1,000 a minute. It went up to.
Oh, really?
That was the average, yeah. And this is him actually leaving
Daniel Penny. There you go.
Yeah, Daniel Penny. He got arrested. He had to surrender. And you know the funny thing is, I remember Daniel Penny when he was in the Pope of Greenwich Village. Do you remember that? Well, he was
Oh
good in
shit!
that, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's Roberts.
Eric
Julia
Roberts.
Roberts.
Look
Julia
at look at
Roberts' brother.
look at that. Look at the hair though. It's
Yeah.
exactly it's exact. And you tell me this guy's 24 years old. Are you freaking kidding me?
Shit. Yeah. Yeah.
He looks 40.
He's been through a
24
lot.
years old.
He probably aged 10 years the last 2 weeks.
I don't know, man. I guess
Yeah, he's
that's.
been through a lot.
But isn't
He's been
that
through
great?
a
Look at
lot.
him
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
bringing that
he's
hairstyle back.
he's Julia Roberts' brother. I didn't really know that till about 10 years ago.
Yeah, I
I didn't
knew that.
realize it. Yeah, yeah. I didn't, well, of course you did. You know everything.
I don't know everything, but I knew that.
Well, you know
Um.
everything.
So yeah, so they raised $2 million for him, and on the contrary, and the funny thing is, give, send, go. That's where you'd go to donate money for him. Give.
Yeah, because GoFundMe won't let them
Well, the
because
GoFundMe does the perps,
right, exactly. Yep.
and I think, like I mentioned, $2
Unbelievable.
million. This guy
Good,
Daniel Penny has raised,
good.
and the family for Neely, they have a GoFundMe, and they raised
Mm.
125,000 so far.
Oh, okay. All
That's a
right,
big,
good.
big difference. And some
Yep.
of the fundraisers, well, the biggest person that donates so far, I think, has been, I think his name is Vivek Ramaswamy.
Oh yeah, that's the guy that's on
He's actually good, that guy. 10
yeah,
grand.
he goes at
10,
CNN pretty hard.
yeah, he's really good. I just don't want to mess his name up. I think you say it, Vivek Ramaswamy Wani Mani Dani Sani Bani Dani. That's how I think you say it.
Yeah,
If
you
I
did great.
well,
It's funny because all the white anchors on CNN call him a racist, yet he's Indian.
yeah,
So
it's
yeah,
so stupid.
it's
Like why?
funny. Yeah.
Because you disagree with somebody that all of a sudden a racist. The guy's look. I mean, look at his name. He's not what. That's not Vivek Ramaswamy Mani Dani Fani Bani. That's not a.
Yeah.
That's an Indian name. Oh, but
Hold on. I'm
actually,
gonna
Tim Pool donated 20,000, and he's a political commentator and podcaster. So
so it's Vivek Ramaswamy. That's it. Vivek Ramaswamy.
yeah, there you go. I for some reason I added a couple of
It's
vowels.
okay. It's okay. It's okay, puppy. I got you.
Yeah, donations are coming in $1,000 a minute. And we mentioned this last week, but it's worth mentioning again. Outreach workers were so familiar with Neely, so he was homeless, and this is
Mhm.
I guess an advocacy group, outreach workers. He was on the top 50 list of homeless people most in need of help.
So they
And
have a top 50 list, like top 100 greatest like MLB players of all time. They have top 50 homeless people in New York.
well, they have the people that need in need of most in need of help. Which, if you have a top 50 list and you're not helping at least the people in the top 50 that need it the most,
Well, I got news for you.
what are we doing?
You know what could have helped him? You know what could have helped him and the other 49?
Well, for
The
him,
$850 million that was stolen by De Blasio and his wife that just went missing, that was slated for Thrive New York City, which was supposed to be a mental outreach program for the homeless and people in need, poor people in New York City, marginalized people in New York City. $850 million went missing, and Charlene McRae and Bill De Blasio misappropriated it, and it's gone. And nobody's investigating that, right? Tish James is not investigating it. Nobody's investigating it. They're too busy going after Trump, and nobody goes after these people for $850 million that are missing. How? Why? If that money was spent right, that guy may not be dead today. How about that?
yep, I agree with you. That guy definitely needed help. I saw a video of him. He wasn't as aggressive as he was on the day that he was killed, but uh, you could see his spiel when he got on. He was definitely destitute. He was down on his luck. On this particular day, that they're trying to sell. They're trying to sell the video off as that was the day that he got murdered, but it wasn't. It was just another day.
There's no toxicology report has been released yet, right?
Hmm.
We don't see the video of what happened beforehand. There's several witnesses that called 911 and said that he was threatening people on the train.
Well, that brings me. Could I? I'm going to ask you a question right now. That brings up
Sure.
this interesting point. Now,
Okay.
the reason why you don't see anything like this, and the reason why there was a delay, was obviously because the Manhattan District Attorney's Office had gotten and saw some of the video and realized we don't have a freaking case here. But I guess maybe because people jumped on the tracks and stopped the traffic for a couple hours, that they had to indict the guy. Well,
Hmm.
guess what? If you indict the guy and he doesn't cop a plea, you're going to lose this freaking case, because
Well,
I guarantee you that there is tape. Not one person jumped in or has come to say, I told him to stop. Yeah, the train. I don't know how many people are on that subway, by the way, but three out of the four men there, you see them surround on top, and they're all helping, holding his hands or standing around.
I told him
Um,
we're black. Told him we're black.
so yeah, they're never ever gonna win this case, and I don't understand why. That's why you succumb to public pressure, a tiny bit of public pressure.
Well, listen.
The case is unwinnable.
So letter of the law. We have
Mhm,
to be fair. Letter of the law was manslaughter
mhm,
because he didn't intend to kill him. He was
mhm,
trying to control him, and he ended up dying as a result of his actions.
yeah.
So letter of the law, it's manslaughter.
Mhm,
But you could indict, like we say in the police department, right? I know Lieutenant Pete, you've heard this before, all our former officers, you could indict a ham sandwich. Indict doesn't mean anything. Getting a
mhm,
conviction is a whole separate issue. There are, and I've been saying this all week. How many times do we see videos of people on the train? Listen, you had that woman that got feces smashed in her face. You have a woman that are constantly, there was an Asian woman that the guy went up to her and smacked her in the face. A female went up to her and smacked her in the face. You had another girl who was sleeping. She looked like an immigrant who had just come from probably cleaning everybody's hotel room, and she's asleep on the train, and some guy masturbates and ejaculates all over her face, right? And how many times do we look at these videos and we say, why didn't anybody step up and do something? Why
mhm.
didn't any of these soy boys, why didn't any of these cowards do anything to protect these people? And this guy stepped up, and now look. Now
Well,
look.
that's the point I wanted to bring up. If you're on a crowded train and somebody comes into that thing and they're aggressive and they're saying they need food and they need drink, I don't care if I die, and whatever other, what does he say? I don't care if I go to jail. At some point right now, it sounds almost like the way any terrorist would announce the fact that they're going to go off right now
That's right.
and hurt
That's
people,
right.
either with a
That's right.
gun or with a knife.
That's
And
right.
if you're trained like a military person and you're waiting for key words, I don't care if I die. I don't care if I go to jail. Well,
That's right.
you know what? Let me just grab him. God forbid he does have a weapon on him and try to attack somebody.
Absolutely.
And that's how you're
Absolutely.
going to lose the case automatically, because anybody with a half a brain, and that's uh who's sitting
It's
there
asking
and
for a
you're
lot
listening.
sometimes.
I know, you're listening to the information that's going to be forthcoming in this trial. Um, you the fact that he actually did something is what everybody on the subway wants. They just want one person. That's why I don't take the train, because I'm 6'4". And every time some crazy person comes on, everybody looks at me like I'm supposed to do something. I'm like, I'm not doing nothing. I'm looking over here. I don't see nothing.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But
Yeah.
do you
Yeah.
really want
Yeah.
to have that fight every single day when you get on the subway?
Nope. Nope.
And
Listen,
every
I
single
took the
day.
train. I took the train for 16 months
Mhm,
when I retired from the PD and I got this job that I'm at now. I started with this company. It was not fun.
mhm,
To your point, people were constantly. I mean, thank God I was taking the train at 5 o'clock in the morning, so there wasn't really a lot of people on the train at that time.
mhm,
But it's just it's unfortunate. This kid stepped up. He did the right thing. Um, hopefully his defense team, Milwaukee Civilian, says if he's funded the right way, he's probably gonna get off or whatever the case may be. Listen, they're gonna have to bring in PTSD, right? Because he was a veteran. He served overseas.
mhm,
Everybody that knows him from his neighborhood, nobody had a bad thing to say about the kid. His social media was, I'm sure, purged. Nothing came of that, because if it had, it would have been all over the news, right? His social media would have been
Mhm.
on everybody's list about he's a right wing extremist or whatever the case may be, unless he's, a lib, right, a left winger, because then they will never expose his social media. So there's a lot of components to this, but at the end of the day, manslaughter is the right charge. We have to be honest, because he didn't
Well,
attempt to
Gina
kill him,
G
and he killed him
says,
by mistake.
Gina G says he did have some help. Will they be charged too? Obviously, there was as much concern about the perp. Um, those two or three other people have not been charged yet.
Right.
So that also,
Well, that's because they're not white, unfortunately.
well, also because they probably don't. They might have. They don't want you to see their faces yet. I don't know how did you see their face? How do you even know what color they are? I didn't see anything with the.
Oh yeah, the original video that was posted on Twitter, by the actual guy who took the video.
Mhm.
It shows everybody, and it shows the whole thing. It shows him up until he loses consciousness, and it's
Mhm.
everybody. Everybody's on. So
Okay, interesting.
yeah, yeah.
Milwaukee civilian Navy and Air Force are characterized as libs. Army and Marines tend to get tarred with being cons. Yeah, maybe.
Well, my son was in the Air Force for 8 years, and he's far from a lib. So
I
I
think
think we can't paint everybody with a broad brush.
you know what, somebody had mentioned something to me, and I don't know where they got this information from, but they seemed like they believed it, and that this Penny's history with his military history shows that he might have been overly aggressive. So I don't know if that's, I don't know, that kind of stuff. I can't imagine what can, if it's real, that it can come out, because
Well,
that's kind of like those are sealed. That's paperwork for the military. It's nobody's business. Now, could it get leaked if they? I don't think. I don't see that happening. But it's not a big enough case. Or
Well, Lieutenant Pete brings up a good point. He says it's just like the force list that we have on the job, right? That 50.org, 50a.org list that's online. Just because you have an alleged violent history, right? I had a lot of force complaints, a lot of complaints of using racist terminology and, curse words and whatever the case may be. And I was never found guilty, not of anything. But there were a lot of complaints because I was locking people up. So I was, in turn, I was getting a lot of complaints because that was the way they tried to get at me. So I don't know how the complaint system works in the military, but just because you're on that list doesn't mean you're guilty of anything.
Yeah, I don't even know whether it had to do with dealing with civilians. It might have just been like internal training memos, that he goes
If it was
hard,
that bad,
whatever.
then they should have. If it was that bad, they should have dishonorably discharged him, which they
Oh
didn't. He
yeah, I
had
mean, to
honorable
get
discharge.
dishonorably discharged, you got to commit a felony. You got to commit a crime.
Okay, so then he wasn't that. He wasn't that
No,
crazy. He wasn't
no.
that bad, or else they would have dishonorably discharged him. Listen,
Yeah.
it's all smoke and mirrors. These people are going to push whatever their agenda is. Right away, it has to become a race thing. There's nothing. It was just like the George Floyd incident, right? Do I agree with what happened to George Floyd? Absolutely not. Do I think that Chauvin killed him because he was black? No, right? There's nothing that indicates that other than the color of their skin. So again, why does this have to be a racial issue? Because the deceased happens to be black, and the Marine, happened to be white. It doesn't. There's nothing that indicates it was a racial issue. He didn't call him the N-word while he was choking him out. He didn't call him a filthy whatever while he was choking him out, or trying to control him. So there's nothing that indicates that it's racist. But right away, the race baiters like Al Sharpton, the Al Sharptons of the world, jump on the bandwagon and say it was racist, a black man getting lynched in America, yada yada yada. What happened a few months ago when the black homeless guy when the black young man walked behind the white homeless guy who was sitting on the curb and blew his brains out? Nobody said anything. Nobody said it. The white homeless guy on the curb and the black kid walked behind him and blew his brains out. Nobody said anything about that. It wasn't all over the national news media. I mean, the story was, but nobody was claiming racism. Nobody was looking for this guy to get, put underneath the jail. Why? Why is it always a different narrative?
Well, let's move on to this story here. This is a crazy video, man. Let's see, video file. No, that's not it. I always do. Damn it, man. We don't practice enough. There we go. I'm sure you've heard about this one where get shot 3 times. This is a crazy video right now. It's a car stop. This is why car stops are so dangerous.
turn it into the Farmhouse Antiques. It's a black for
Crown Vic.
2 times. It's a paper tag. I'll give it to you in a minute.
That paper tag, that giveaway.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Hey, man. Deputy Covey Charles County Sheriff's Office. The reason I pulled you over, all right, is your improper lane use. You're all over the road, back and forth, back and forth.
My car's only on, so I was trying to find a place to pull over.
Oh, okay, okay. Do you have your registration and insurance? Why do you have gloves on? Oh, you're trying not to get corona?
No, sir.
Alright. You got ID on you, man?
Yeah.
And what about the insurance?
This is a long video. I didn't realize it was this long.
Any firearms in the car at all?
Let me see. Oh, this is afterwards. Let's go back.
Any by chance?
Here we go.
It's more updated than this, but
Once his backup gets there, that's when the shit is.
Yeah.
Oh.
We say had gloves on, right?
Alright, hey, hop out. Hop out.
Leave it.
I'm not reaching for nothing, man.
You got a gun! Hey, I'm hit, he's down. I'm hit. Hey, what's that? Get back. Put my knee.
See how quick that happened, man?
So,
How are you supposed to do, like?
so there's a couple of things, right? And I've said this before on this podcast, and I've said this many times before. I've even said it on Fox News, I believe, and Newsmax. If there's a female driving and there's a male in the passenger seat, I'm sorry, and maybe it's just my old school mentality with the chivalry and stuff. It always, and every time when I was in a 4-8 and when I was on patrol and I pulled them over, I would say 9 out of 10 times they had drugs or guns in the car. It's just, especially if you're working in a high crime, I don't know what, if that was a corridor to somewhere, if that was between 2 towns, a main thoroughfare, it looked like a busy road. If there's a female driving and there's a male passenger, I'm raised up. I'm approaching that car stop completely different. But the cop got out of the way. His tactics were fantastic. The way he rolled, he got out of the way. He engaged a shooter. His partner did fantastic. He's going to be fine, thank God. I mean, so many lessons to be learned on that video. So many ways to dissect it. Oh my God.
Yeah, I was wondering why he went to the passenger side immediately. Usually, there's 2 of them there.
The traffic. That's why.
Yeah, but that car was at least 20 feet from the road, and
Oh.
yeah, if we can go back, they were
No, they weren't that far out of the main lane of traffic. They were right in the main lane of traffic. They were like 3 feet away from the traffic.
Let's go back and see that again. I guarantee you. I'll go back and see that one more time.
You ain't guaranteeing me shit. You're gonna lose.
Look at there. This is you see where she's walking?
Watch.
That's traffic. That's I don't know how many feet that is. That's at least 25 feet right there. And then you got the cruiser here is actually the way they parked is to block.
But this is you can't see my mouse obviously, but it's a pull-in lane right for the driveway.
Yeah.
So he probably thought they were going to be vehicles close to them because that's a driveway to the antique store. So he went to that side instead.
I think they wanted to talk to that guy. I think they peeped him and they didn't like the way he looked. So
well, maybe I think because look at the windows. If you see the windows halfway down, it was limo tints. He couldn't have seen who was driving. Look at the window, how dark they are. He couldn't see who was driving. It's a black car, black tinted windows. Listen, again, right? I mean, we could dissect it to the cows.
I mean, how were you taught when you were in academy to do a car stop? There's two of us, right? I'm going to go to the
but he didn't have a partner. He was by himself initially. His partner came after he made the call.
After the fact?
Yeah, it was one man patrol. So he probably went there to stay out of the lane of traffic or whatever the case may be, or maybe he did see him. To my point right earlier about seeing a male being driven around by a female. If I know it's a high crime area, I know that this is, their ruse, so to speak, right, to stay away from getting pulled over by the police because, nobody's going to pull over a female, right, in a bad high crime area. I was pulling those cars over constantly. And 9 times out of 10, I was getting gun, drugs, or both out of those cars.
Why is the female driving? Because whoever's sitting in the passenger seat doesn't have a license. Or if their license is, or they're wanted, or it's revoked, they have a warrant. That's the reason why they're in the passenger seat.
Yep.
And he asked the question. He goes, "Why are you wearing gloves?"
Well, you see, and again, right? So we could dissect this until the cows come home, right? 2020 hindsight. If I'm pulling a guy, I did it in 1994 or 5. I pulled over 2 guys. It was July, and both of them had gloves on and scully caps wrapped up on their head. And I was like, "Whoa, wait a second! This is not good." And it ended up that they were robbing drug spots in the Heights, and they were in a stolen military pool vehicle, and they had like 3 guns in the car. And we ended up closing out a huge robbery pattern. But the guy had gloves on, and that was the first indication of why I wanted to stop him. I saw him making the turn with his gloves on, and it was like, something's up. So at that point, when you see the guy with gloves on, it's a norm. She had shorts on, right, from what I saw in the video. It was warm out. You see the guy with gloves on, listen, we have time on our side. We have time and we have cover on our side. Retreat at that point. Again, I don't want to Monday morning quarterback this too much, and I'm not shitting on the cop, but you have time on your side. You step back and you say, hold on a second, something's not right. This guy has gloves on, it's hot out. Let me wait for my backup to get here so we can get everybody out of the car, or maybe even turn it into a felony car stop at that point, right? Get the guy cuffed, and then if everybody's good, everybody goes home happy. So,
yeah, like you said, you don't want a Monday morning quarterback. The deputy, he's okay. Deputy at 30, he's 34 years old. He got shot 3 times. And the other guy, James Keenan, the perp, 28 years old. He died at the scene. Yeah, he was definitely who knows what the hell they were up to. She was high on something. She was still smoking the cigarette. Wait a minute, I got to go back to this. She was still smoking the cigarette. If you see her get out of the car, like she's definitely high on something. That's why she's driving him around, because he's getting her high. So forget it. I can't seem to find that video.
No, you're right. Yeah, I saw the cigarette too. Listen, again, it's there's so many, again, hindsight, right? We have the luxury of looking at this, days after it happened. When it's happening, there are so many that's why, and I always tell my son this, and when I used to talk to the rookies, I used to always tell them, process the stuff, like be methodical. When you're doing car stops, when you're interacting with a perp, look at their hands, look at all the mitigating circumstances, look at the other outside factors, look at the girl smoking the cigarette, look at the fact that she's driving, look at the fact that he has gloves on, look at the fact that it's a busy, road, it's a corridor to a ghetto, right, coming from the suburbs, whatever the case may be. There's so much information you have to process in like split seconds. Sometimes we get it wrong. Yeah, you gotta pay attention to everything.
Yeah, it's we're starting to see so many of these videos, these violent shootouts. People they're not going easy. They if they're armed, they're gonna shoot it out with the cops. I mean, that guy throws the gun underneath the seat. He gets out of the car. Maybe they find the gun. They're probably going to find the gun because at that point right now, something's up. But if he follows along, he's alive. Nobody gets shot. It's just for the gun. It's not your car. It's her gun. I don't know why it was there. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you see, and that was part of what went so wrong with the Philando Castile incident. Remember that? He was a legal carry. Remember, he was a legal carry. Yeah. He was in the passenger side. His girl was driving. And he was like, I got a gun. I'm letting you know. And the officer fucking shot him anyway and killed him. Again, what I said earlier, time is on your side. You have time and you have cover. Listen, at the end of the day, and I tell my son this all the time too, we'll get him tomorrow, right? You're not going to, there's no reason for you to risk your life doing a car stop when you have time and cover on your side. Step back.
Especially since we know that's a mystery mobile. We used to call those mystery mobiles because
paper
that
tag,
once you see
everything,
that paper plate on that car, you see the
Mhm.
shape of the car, the tinted windows. It's a shit show. You know it's gonna. There's something going. Something's amiss right here,
Yeah.
and people wonder how do you know who's the bad people? That's all you got to see. You know.
Yeah.
Um,
100%.
let's switch stories now. In case you ever wondered, what the hell are people? Why do people want catalytic converters? And who are these people stealing these catalytic converters? Well, here we go. New York brothers allegedly trafficked catalytic converters, stripped the precious metals, and made millions. They made $170 million. They were the kingpins of these operations.
What?
Yeah, two brothers, Andrew. The Zelensky. They have the same last name as they're probably obviously
Vladimir.
No, it's Andrew and something else. Alex.
No,
and
but
Andrew.
they have Vladimir's last name. Come on, keep up, buddy.
I thought it was Zelensky. Oh, Polensky. Because I know somebody named with that name.
You said Zelensky. What?
No, it's not. Zelensky's Ukrainian.
Well, that's what you said.
I said it
That's
wrong.
why I said Vladimir.
Okay, so Polensky is the same. It could still be Vladimir, but these are Russians. This is a Russian thing. Two brothers arrested for selling millions of dollars, and this is what they actually look like. Look at this. Look at the stockpile.
Baby.
They have minerals inside of them. That it's a process. They kind of crack that thing open. There's 3 different type of minerals in there. One of them is actually more expensive than gold. The DA alleges that between June 2021 and December 22, these brothers involved in trafficking of stolen catalytic converters from California, Minnesota, Connecticut, and Texas, all across the country. What's inside of them? Platinum, palladium. I used to go to the palladium, and rhodium.
Milwaukee civilian says, "Sober up, Mark." And then Raquel says they need a lot of money to live on Long Island. That's for sure. Absolutely. I got a trivia question for you in relation to this. Do diesel trucks have catalytic converters?
No.
Yeah, well, you knew the answer because
I
it's
did
a trivia
it.
question. Because it's a trivia question. It's like that was an easy one. Forget it.
I said no. The reason why I said no
Just forget it.
Because it's for emissions, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think diesel's the problem. Is diesel the problem?
Diesel's a big part of the problem.
Oh, maybe it's the bigger problem.
But they just do not have catalytic converters because the fuel is sober up.
They were trying. No, actually, I haven't had a drink in way too long. It was just a tongue twister. But regarding what was I going to say? What are we talking about right now?
The catalytic converters.
And then it was something else that I wanted to go to.
It was living on Long Island, having money, stealing the minerals, diesel fuel. We were talking about diesel fuel. Come on.
Nah, it'll come
Use
back.
your words.
It's gone. It's gone.
Sorry.
It's gone. What else do we got? Where are we right now? Oh, so
emissions. We were talking about emissions, maybe.
Catalytic converter. See, that's a tough one. How do you say it? Catalytic?
Catalytic converter.
Yeah, catalytic converter. What a pain in the ass, man! Like these people, I hate these people that steal that kind of stuff because for them, for two brothers to profit, and all the idiots that are making enough money to get high. You know what I'm saying?
Those guys are good businessmen. They're criminals, but they're good. Imagine if they put their efforts into doing a legit business, they probably do well. But instead, they want to be crooks.
I mean, they could have been used car salesmen for crying out loud, right?
Yeah.
An honest buck.
Morgan says catalytic converters.
Yeah. Let's see what this one is. I said that already.
Stealing the show. You're stealing the show, Milwaukee. You can't do that. We're supposed to be the entertainment here, not you, buddy.
Nah, he's good. Let him go.
I
want to show you. We don't really have too much more crime, but I'll show you. This kid needs
there's always enough crime.
And this kid needs an award and a half, bro. Where can we? Here we go. This kid. Talk about. And the reason why is because he doesn't have a cell phone. He was paying attention. Did you see this one?
No.
The video is dramatic, and it's scary to think about what might have been. The female bus driver begins to slow down, but never completes the task because she loses consciousness, and the bus begins to veer into oncoming traffic. That's when 7th grader Dylan Reeves jumps from his seat, takes the wheel, and slowly brings the bus to a stop. Even with the panic inside the bus, Dylan remained calm.
Someone call 911.
Oh, good for you, buddy.
Plus years of education. This was
That's my nephew, Dylan. My nephew.
very act of courage and maturity on his part.
Thursday, Consolidated Schools Superintendent Robert Livernoy praised Dylan for his quick thinking.
You would think in the middle of this panic, you just jump on the brake. He had the wherewithal to push it slowly, likely in anticipation that the bus was full of passengers.
Dylan's parents couldn't believe
Hey, Mom, I'm feeling sick.
To do something like this just fills my heart. It makes my heart skip a beat. I'm extremely proud of him.
We got a little hero.
So how did the 13-year-old know what to do?
He's been on my lap, driving country roads, pulling in driveways since about 4 years old.
Mom says her son is very observant, watched the bus driver many times. The know-how is one thing. The calm under pressure is another.
Someone call 911.
Dylan's parents say he's been overwhelmed by
Love
the
that
attention
kid.
this story has already gotten, so they chose for him not to take any questions. The school board plans to honor him very soon. In Warren, Jamie Edmonds, Local 4.
Well, the story goes that so many of the other kids, all the other kids were on their phone, and he doesn't have a phone. He said, my parents are old school. I'm not allowed to have a phone yet. So he
that's
just
beautiful.
sits there. He's the only kid probably on the
And
whole
he
bus.
watches the bus driver.
Well, he's looking around. You know, this is what we used to do
Observant,
before
yeah,
cell phone.
situational awareness. That's right.
You know, he's
Yeah.
looking around and he's checking stuff out, and he sees this lady, and she was having some type of attack. You could see she.
Did she die? Like, how was do we know her condition? Like,
No, actually,
because her arm was like. So I don't know if you saw. There was a video years ago of the bus driver. He has a heart attack, and the kid does the same thing, and the bus driver ended up dying.
yeah,
So yeah, she looked like maybe she would have went. She was going into like diabetic shock or something.
yeah,
She was
something was up
She was a bit portly.
a bit. Yep. A bit poorly.
That's my nephew. That kid, by the way, he's on my mother's cousin's sister's side, the white side of our family.
The white side, yeah.
Yeah.
And what else we got? We got one more for you, and then we'll
That
post
kid
it
should be
around.
sued for interfering for public transportation.
I thought this video was cool, man. Look at these two old dudes, man. They get inside an electric car for the first time that's driving itself.
Oh, here he is. Well, that's a car. What's that thing on top? A Jaguar.
Jaguar.
Oh my goodness! You got a Jaguar. Where is the guy? What?
Buckle up.
Where? Oh no, Amanda. Do you trust this? Amanda.
There's nobody
Isn't that old dude famous? Isn't he like? I think that old dude is like TikTok
my
famous.
Look, they're
I
bugging.
cannot believe this.
Are you buckled?
Yes, I want to be buckled. Oh no. Where?
They can't believe it.
He's touching the thing.
Well, how did it get down here?
I called it.
You called it.
I did.
Call who?
The car.
There's no driver.
I know.
Oh,
It's awesome.
Now it gets crazy.
Is
Watch
it-
this.
in other
Jerry
words,
says he's scared.
I am too. In other words, you're selling these? Well, where's Jenny? We got big. Amanda, look at you. Amanda, but won't this car get on? What are the cops will see this?
Here we go. Intersection.
I don't. I'll never forget this. Never.
We're turning.
Amanda.
Coming up on a car.
The car did a better job than if somebody was driving.
You just said the same thing. You two said the same thing.
How cool is that, huh?
That is freaking great. That's me and you in Vegas in 30 years.
Yeah, man.
The car's
Yeah.
driving itself.
Well,
The car drivers.
for us, hopefully it'll be floating and flying.
Yeah, it'd be like the Jetsons, right? Wasn't it
Yeah.
Jetsons supposed to be like 2021 or something like that? It was like 2021 or 2020, the Jetsons?
Yeah, it wasn't that far off. I saw another thing that was pretty interesting. They said that if you would do Back to the Future now, you would go back to 1993.
Amen to that.
Think
Dude,
about it.
you-
It's if
you
that movie
actually-
took
yeah.
place in the 80s, right? Late 80s, 86. When did Back to the Future come out? 86, 87?
Yep.
Okay, and they went back to the 50s. That's like 30 years.
Yeah.
We
yeah.
go back 30
I-
years right now. We're going back to 1993.
I'm
That's
gonna.
not even a big deal.
Mary Goldstein said a really horrible joke in the chat, so I'm not even gonna dignify it with responding to it. So let's just move on. It was bad. I love the 90s. So did I. Me and Mark came on the job in 1992. Where were you, babies? Lieutenant Pranz already had 20 years on the job.
I'm trying to see Mary's joke. It's called a Jaguar because it's wireless. Oh, baby, yeah.
You have no respect. You just undermined me in front of the whole, like our whole audience. I told you I wasn't going to dignify.
I didn't know Jaguars.
But why did you undermine my decision not to acknowledge her corny joke? That's like
your
parents.
decision.
But you can't you have to text me or pull me to the side and say, hey, I disagree. You don't undermine me in front of the children.
Okay, maybe you're right.
Oh, you do.
But the Jaguar. Remember the commercial where he used to go the Jaguar? How do you say it? I say Jaguar.
Jaguar.
The Jaguar.
I was still waiting to be born in 1992. Whatever.
Okay, so what else do we got? I guess maybe that's it. Jordan Vandersloot is the other thing that I want. Remember that guy, Jordan Vandersloot?
Oh, the Aruba guy, the guy.
Yeah,
they're extraditing
Natalie Holloway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's going to take some time. They said it might be not until August because he's probably going to fight it a little bit in the beginning. I don't see why. Supposedly that Peruvian prison is like hell. They said it's like 300.
Oh, I could imagine. Yeah,
all the way. I mean, I never realized the difference between atmospheres and just climate change when you live in different areas.
Oh, below sea level and the equator and all that shit.
Level. Supposedly they're like, I don't know how many thousands of feet above sea level over there. So
the
it's
air
probably
is super thin. Yeah,
probably tough to breathe over there. They don't have any Wi-Fi over there where he's in prison. So he hasn't had it, but somehow the guy still makes. He had a girlfriend. He got busted selling drugs in prison, and one of his girlfriends was bringing the drugs in for him. And his other girlfriend, the one that he was going to marry, found out about the other one because he was supposed to get married, and she backed out. This guy is pulling. I never understood that. It just goes to show you how stupid some people can be. Like that's how desperate you are for love. You're gonna
you're gonna hook up with a guy in prison. Yeah,
28 years he's gonna do. Plus he murdered women.
It happens so much, and some of the women, it's like, they're not like what you think that they would.
They weren't as cute as that chubby white chick that ran out of the car and that guy and bolted out of the car. Huh?
With a muffin top hanging out.
Behind every black guy who's just about to get blown away by the cops is a chubby white chick who can't drive. The reason why he's dead is because she was going in and out of the lanes. If she was a better driver, he'd still be alive.
She had the haircut that she shaved the back, and then she had the top that went to the side, man, and she had two door knocker earrings. Yeah, that's
she's So let me see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I got. I think I'm out. You got?
So
anything?
we had. Wait, hold on a second. We had someone very important. So Terry Lynn Halberg joined the chat, and we didn't say hi to Terry Lynn. Hello. And I believe I saw the Ryan Investigative Group somewhere out there.
Oh, Bill. Yeah, Bill. What's up, Bill?
I thought I saw him, but now I can't find them. Yeah. What's up, Bill?
No women.
So, no woman. Leave my muffins alone.
It's a stereotype. It's a stereotype.
Chubby chaser. So you got nothing else, huh? It was something else that I wanted to talk about that happened. We've had a lot of cops killed in the last 2 weeks. I want to say we've had 4 cops killed in the last 2 weeks. And the
Well,
line
we were
dude was
talking
shot and
about
killed.
the poor female officer from Chicago. She had 6 months on the job.
Oh my
She's a
God.
week away from getting her master's degree.
Oh, it's
And
horrible.
I had the mutts. Like I never could understand why. First of all, she was beautiful, just a beautiful girl. And then these four or five animals. Like if you see like to me, if I was, I don't know what are they thinking? Not that I would ever do a robbery, but I mean, I'm not going to rob a woman. You know what I'm saying? It's she just got home from doing a 4 to 12.
Yes.
And you know, when I guess they do this thing where they approach you from all sides now. It's called swarming. And so they attacked her and she went to reach for her weapon, and that's when they shot her. And you know, the new mayor, I don't know about Chicago. It's you're getting rid of Lori Lightfoot. And they're getting somebody who's more progressive than she was. And this
So
guy,
the problem is it's like the substitute teacher that comes in, right? When you have a badass class, and then the substitute teacher comes in, and do the kids act better or do they act even worse? They act
yeah.
worse. So they're used to acting like complete idiots in Chicago, and the criminals are used to getting away with shit. So now the substitute teacher's coming, right? Quote unquote, this new mayor, and they're just going to continue to act crazy. They're going to get worse. So that's it. That's what it is. And as long as you have guys like this who are saying, don't give kids homework, you know, we have to present more opportunity. These kids were wilding in the downtown district because they don't have opportunities. They're marginalized. As long as we have people like that giving minorities ready-made excuses and bamboozling them, then this stuff's never going to change.
Milwaukee civilians says 4 officers arrested in Milwaukee this week. 4. I didn't hear about it. I got to look it up.
Me neither.
We'll mention it next week. Unless
Yeah.
you want to quickly tell us what it was about. New York Times is actually criticizing Adams as a conservative. Oh, really? Adams is a conservative.
So, yeah. So he's apparently now trying to get rid of the sanctuary city status for New York because he's too inundated with these asylum seekers. Are they illegal immigrants, or is that like, am I too antiquated using that term? Because
Can you imagine?
All of them are not saying I need asylum.
There's
I'm a political refugee from Cuba.
There's a hotel up there in Newburgh.
Yes, I know
that they're using,
and
they kicked. Well, they also this wedding party. They rented out 33 rooms. Can you imagine? You're getting married and you rented out 33 rooms, and now all of a sudden you got to find another hotel up there, which you probably can't because what they're doing, and they're going to fight this too, by the way, because why does the mayor of New York City have the authority to be busing? What he's doing is he's busing all the people coming to New York. He's sending them upstate.
Yeah.
Now the governor at some point should probably step in. You know, wouldn't that be the governor who gives the okay for that?
Yeah, but Hochul's not going to do that because she's a leftist. So she's not going to stop it.
It shouldn't be up to. It shouldn't be up to Mayor Adams, who you know, like Abbott. They were saying how bad Abbott is, and the Texas governor because he's sending these people. He sent another busload or 2 or 3 to our vice president Kamala Harris's house. I wonder what her neighbors think of her.
Brando doesn't approve.
Anyway, Milwaukee civilian, Milwaukee police, sexual assault, battery, child abuse, and obstructing another officer. Yeah, we got to look into that, Milwaukee. I had no idea that there was this crazy stuff happening.
Nobody hates a bad cop more than a good cop. Mark, you better not ignore my dog right now. I don't understand why you're not acknowledging Brando.
Hey, Brando. It's your room went dark. I couldn't see it. I don't know what. There you go.
Everybody else saw.
Hi, Brando. He's a good boy, huh? He loves his daddy. I always see the pictures that you post up. Hey, Milwaukee civilian. I don't think I've been to Milwaukee, but I do. The only thing I know is Haas and Pepper Incorporated. We're gonna do it my way.
Milwaukee Brewing Company. Okay, get down.
Gina G said Mark is a cat guy. I like dogs too. As a matter of fact, I was just talking yesterday. I'd like to get a dog and at least 2 cats, or maybe 2 dogs and 2 cats. That's something that I'm looking into. But yeah, definitely, I love dogs.
Mm.
I used to have a Jack Russell pug and Ginger.
A Jack Russell pug. Is that like a new breed, or are you saying that you had a mutt?
It's called the Jugs.
Okay.
Yeah, well, what happens with the Jack Russell is they're so hyper. You got to cut it. You got to cut them. It's like cutting Coke. You know what I'm saying? You ever see a Jack Russell?
My kids had a Jack. My sister-in-law used to breed them, and they were out of control.
Man.
Yeah, they're crazy. They're good hunting dogs.
Yeah, they jump up and down like this, straight up and down. My friend had a Jack Russell, and Gina G says I have a Jack Russell. Oh, really? So you can tell, you know exactly what I'm talking about. My friend had one that jumped out of the car on the highway, jumped out the window while the car was driving. Yeah, they can't.
Did he survive?
No. I was hoping he didn't ask that.
Oh shit. Whoa, wait. We missed something here, because
What?
Gina, Raquel is telling Mary and Lieutenant Peter to go get a room. I don't know what's going on.
What happened?
I don't know what's going on, but she just gave the lieutenant a hall pass. She told him, go get a room.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I don't know
good.
what's going on.
I wouldn't cash in that hall pass, Peter. Not unless you
It's a trap.
Not unless
It's a
you're
trap.
living in the Viper. You and your Viper can get the hell out of here.
Oh, shit. Adopt, don't shop. Oh, stop. I bought both my boys, and I would not give them back. Listen, dogs from breeders, legit breeders, need to be bought too. So stop with the adopt, don't stop stuff.
Well, we are at the end of our episode, folks. I am so happy that Angel came back this week.
I'm happy to be back.
Once again, thanks for Bill for stepping in. Last week, he did a phenomenal job.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you guys for continuing to support the show. I don't know if you've noticed, but my flyers have gotten a hell of a lot better, haven't they?
Yes, they have. You're doing a phenomenal job, improving every week.
And I'm also working on putting together some. We need some clips to share.
Yeah,
some other clips for the show, and we'll put them on TikTok. And
so the local town board of education.
Yeah, what happened with that?
The election is tomorrow.
Oh yeah, you got the you got the votes, right?
So we'll see what happens. I'm getting bashed all over Facebook, the local Facebook groups, because I'm a Hispanic. Apparently, I'm racist, and again, all the typical bullshit, because I don't fall in line crying victim because I'm Puerto Rican and I made something of myself in spite of all the ready-made excuses that are given to me by all the liberals. So
how many people are you running against?
So I'm running against 3 other people, and I'm running on a team with 3 people. But I mean, listen, whatever, it is what it is. Just people are. It's small town politics, and they're going after me. There's even an article about me in the Daily Beast because it is small town politics. Yeah, so it's stupid, but whatever. Just wish me luck, guys, and I'll let you know next week if I won or if I lost.
I don't know about you, man. I don't remember people being into politics when I was a kid. I remember.
Me neither.
Now all of a sudden, they're like. Everybody's getting into it and a lot of fighting. I like to avoid confrontations and fights and stuff like that and arguments. I'm not into that at all.
Yeah, Milwaukee Civilian, you're right.
What?
Smear equals fear. He put, if you're being attacked, it means you have traction. Smear equals fear, and they're trying with a smear campaign. But anyway. All right. Yeah. Anyway, thank folks. You guys. Love you guys.
All the best to you guys. We'll see you next week, next Monday.
Peace out, bendiciones. Take care. Be safe.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Bye-bye now.